Good morning, Year 3 and 4 at Horrington Primary School in Somerset. My name's Alistair Humphreys. I'm an adventurer and an author. I write books, and you have kindly been reading my book, The Boy Who Bite the World, in your lessons at school. Thank you very much for reading my book. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you some ideas for some adventures you might want to do yourself. But I really want to say thank you for this massive envelope full of letters that you sent me, handwritten letters, telling me your thoughts on the book and asking me some questions. So thank you for those, and thank you very much to Miss Dillon, your amazing, wonderful teacher, for sending these through to me. So yeah, it's brilliant. Loads and loads and loads of stuff. Amazing. Xander, thank you, and Madeline, and Barney, and Aidan wants to be an adventurer. He would explore Texas, Malta, Menorca and Canada. Very, very good choices. Thank you to Daisy and to Issy and to Monty and to George and to Kobe and to Alfie. It's amazing. This is absolutely brilliant. And Stanley. Just amazing. Thank you so much. All these letters keep coming in, and the best part of it is you've asked me loads and loads and loads of questions as well. I don't think I'll be able to answer all of your questions. I'm sorry about that because, well, I've got to write a new book. I'm currently writing a book called The Girl Who Rowed the Ocean, about Tom's sister Lucy, who gets in a boat and decides to row across the Atlantic Ocean, which is an adventure I did. So I'm going to answer some of your brilliant questions. Thank you so much. Abigail, 8 3/4, would like to know, how many adult books have you written? I've done 30. I've done 13 books, 4 for children, 13 takeaway, 9. You're Year 3 and 4. You can do the maths. How long does a book take to write? It takes me about a year to write on average. And then Abigail says, I wish I could do adventures, but I think I would be too nervous and scared, annoyingly. Well, Abigail, let me tell you this. Everyone is nervous and scared when they go on adventures. That's the point of adventures. If you're not a bit nervous, you're not going on an adventure. You're going on a holiday, and that's easy. So an adventure is hard, and so you will be nervous and scared. And that's fine. It's completely normal. Everyone is nervous and scared when they go on adventures. And the amazing thing is, though, you'll do it, you'll start to love it, you'll realise you're even more awesome and strong than you thought you were. You'll come home and you'll think, yes, I did that cool thing. Next time, I'm going to do an even harder adventure. And you know what? That next adventure you do, you will still be nervous and scared, but you'll do it. So go have some adventures, Abigail. Noah, how cold is it in Alaska? Well, I cycled through Alaska in the middle of summer, so it was boiling hot. I was trying to jump in cold mountain streams to cool myself down. It was roasting hot. There were so many mosquitoes. It was hot, hot, hot in the summer. In winter, though, it can get absolutely freezing cold. -40, something like that. Really, really cold in winter. And Noah asked, why did I go to India? Well, after I'd cycled around the world, I decided I wanted to do a shorter adventure, definitely, but I wanted to do something that was slower and even more simple than riding a bike. So I decided to do a walk. And India is one of the most fascinating, beautiful, amazing, adventurous countries in the world. And I didn't go there when I cycled around the world, so I thought, I'll go and do a walk in India. So I followed a river. If you follow any river in the world, you will have an adventure. So I followed a river walking through southern India. Phoebe wants to know, what's my favourite part of the book? Well, that's a good question. I think it might be the part near South Africa when Tom just gets into the country and he meets the passport officer, and she doesn't believe that Tom cycled all the way through Africa because she's heard all these things like, these countries over here are dangerous, full of horrible people. But because Tom's actually been there and experienced them, he realises that's not true, and that generally the world is a good, kind and interesting place, and he can correct the passport person about that. Oh, and then a very important question, which weirdly, I get asked questions a lot of the time. No one ever asks me this, but Phoebe, you're very right. This is an important question. What colour is your bike? Well, the bike I cycle around the world on, I set off on a blue bike, and then that broke, and then I got a black and grey bike, which is quite boring colours. So I went to whenever I visited a school, I would allow the children to paint my bike in whatever crazy colours they wanted, and then that bike broke, and then I got a bike which was black, but black was a bit boring, so I painted it blue and yellow. Good questions. Harriet wants to know, what's my favourite sandwich? Well, I did eat a huge amount of banana sandwiches when I was cycling around the world. These days I'm quite a fan of a tomato sandwich with toasted bread so it's not too soggy. How many kids' books have you written? I've written 4 and I'm halfway through the 5th, but I'm not getting much writing done because I'm busy answering all your amazing questions. Theo says, Theo thought my book was good, but I wanted it to be longer. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Theo. I think, should the book have been longer? I think with my books, I try and make them short so that you want more. I don't want them to be really big so that you wish they were shorter. So I don't really mind that you wanted it to be longer. Hopefully that will mean you'll just want to read more adventure books. But Theo, maybe I'm wrong. Thank you for your point. Good point. Rafe or Rafi, I'm not too sure. I'm going to go with Rafe. Sorry if I've got that wrong. On a scale up to 100 and down to 0, how fit would you say you are? Well, that's a very good question. So, you asked that because if you cycle around the world, you must be very fit. Well, here's the thing. When I started cycling around the world, I wasn't very fit. I was just completely normal, just like everybody else you see. But I got on my bike and I started riding. I got quite tired, then I had a rest, then I rode again, then I had a rest, then I rode again, then I had a rest. But if you keep doing that for a few weeks and a few months, you will become mega fit. So yeah, I was ridiculously fit cycling around the world. These days I'm not quite as fit as that, but I'm still pretty fit. I try to do exercise 5 times a week. So I'd say on a scale of 0 to 100, I am maybe 70. Could do a bit better. Although it is nearly Christmas now, so I'm mostly eating mince pies and getting ever less fit. Good question. Olivia. What's Olivia asking? What's your favourite adventure? Well, something I really loved. A few years ago, I decided to walk across Spain with no money at all and only my violin, which I'd stand in the street and play my violin to earn money for food. The problem is I can't really play the violin, so I was absolutely terrible, hoping that people would be kind. If you look at YouTube, you type in My Midsummer Morning into YouTube, you'll find me playing the violin very badly in Spain, and it's quite funny. Oliver. Well, Oliver, I like this. Oliver says, if you write back, I might read another book of yours. Well, Oliver, I'm making you a video message. I'm not writing back. Does that count? I hope you'll read another book of mine. Hayden, what do you do as a living? Well, at the moment, I answer questions from children on YouTube. For a living, I write books about adventure. That pile there, they're the books that I've read. They're the books that I've written. So I write those books to earn some money. I do talks to businesses to get some money. I have a podcast which I use, and the adverts from that make me some money. I make some films about adventures, and I get some money from that. Oh, look, up on the roof here. Sorry, it's all mirror image, so it's hard to point. There, that is a movie poster from a film that I made about walking across the empty quarter desert. And I also do some work with outdoor companies, sort of advertising them, like, hey, Alpkit, very good outdoor adventure gear, and they give me some money for wearing their t-shirt on YouTube videos. So I do lots of different things to earn a living. And the most important thing is that I love what I do. If you think, oh man, I have to go to school every day, you'll have to go to work for a lot longer than you go to school. So please, make sure you find a job you really, really enjoy, because then going to work is fun. Lauren, Aha, Lauren has some ideas for my books. And a few other little bits to say. Well, let's see what Lauren's got to say. This is very... Aha. Next, I have some ideas about books. You could make a Christmas book about travelling to the North Pole. For summer, you could write a book about travelling to the equator. Also, you could make a Halloween book about travelling to a haunted house. Well, Lauren, that is genius, Lauren. And as I said in my last answer, lots of different ways I earn a living. This is a really good idea how I could do some books for different times of the year. You're a genius. And have you ever visited schools? When I cycled around the world for 4 years, I visited about 300 schools in loads of countries around the world to talk to people about my adventures. Message here from Oren. I hope I've said that right. My favourite part is when Tom ate the sugar cane. Do you like sweet things? Oh, I really do like. I do like sweet things. Do you know what my weakness in life? Haribo Tang Fast Sticks. Once I open a packet, I cannot stop until I've eaten them all. Toby, how famous are you? I'm not famous, and I'm very happy not to be famous. I would hate to walk down the street and people recognise me. But weirdly, when you're trying to earn a living, when you try and make your money from writing books and things, you have to tell people about the books. So I guess I do have to try and tell people about myself and what I do to try to get people to know me, so then they'll read my books. So I'm not famous, but hopefully I can tell enough people about myself so that they'll read my books, and that can then be my job. Yeah, I really don't want to be famous. Daisy, do you enjoy writing books? No, I hate writing books. I really do. Do you enjoy writing long letters to writers? I hope you enjoy them, but it's hard work as well, isn't it? So maybe you feel the same with this. So when I write a book, I'm like, oh man, this is hard work. Oh, this is hard work. But then when I finished it, then I feel, wow, that's cool. I've done something good here. And then I feel proud afterwards. So I think maybe it's the same for you with schoolwork and me for writing books. And it's quite hard at the time, but you feel good afterwards. Francesca asks, how did it feel sailing across the Atlantic Ocean? Oh, right now in cold December, I could do with a little bit of bright blue ocean, warm sunshine, and dolphins dancing through the water, jumping in front of us and throwing out a fishing line, catching a fresh tuna, cooking it fresh, being out on the front of the boat in the middle of the night under the stars, watching the moon rise or watching the sun set. Yeah, being in the middle of the ocean is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Xavier asks, why is adventuring so important to you? Well, maybe my last answer gave a bit of that I just love being out in the nature. I love being out in the wild world. I really like trying to do things that are difficult, that I don't really think I can do. And then when I do them, I feel really pleased. And that makes me feel more confident. And I think, oh, next time I can do something else. So adventures are very good for what teachers probably call a growth mindset, that you can do better things and better things. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your amazing letters. I really appreciate it. That took you ages to do. So thank you very much. And thank you to Miss Dillon, the Discovery class teacher, for obviously being a brilliant teacher to get so many interesting, curious questions out of your class. Thank you very much, everybody. And I am now going to sit down and do some book writing. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.